my name is Grace Mbote from the Open University of Tanzania, and in this lecture we're going to learn about a Perl. Perl is a scripting language. We're going to be learning the basics of a Perl programming language. In this lecture we're going to cover Perl basics, and we're also going to learn why do you have to use Perl, what are the reasons, and then we're going to look at Perl variables. At the end, we're going to look at rules of naming those variables. Now, let us learn what is Perl. Perl stands for Practical Extraction and Report Language. This is a scripting language which is relatively simple but also remarkably powerful. Now, let us learn on Perl basic information. Perl, in short, it's a glue language. When I say glue language, what do I mean? This language is ideal for connecting things together. That means, for example, graphical user interface to a number cruncher, or to a database, or to a web server. Why did Perl come up? Perl replaced shell programming as the most popular programming language for text processing and Unix system administration. The main advantage of Perl is that it runs under all operating systems, including Windows. Also, Perl is an open source, and many libraries are available in Perl. This includes database and internet. So why do you have to use Perl? First, Perl is easy to learn, and you can start writing useful program very quickly. Secondly, there are a number of shortcuts which make programming easier in Perl. And third, Perl is a very popular language and widely used. That means you can get support, especially for system administration and internet programming. Finally, Perl is free and available on all computing platforms. That means Unix, Linux, Windows and Macintosh operating systems. Also, there are many free available additions to Perl, that means modules. And at the end, Perl is designed to understand and manipulate text. So those are the reason or advantages of why you have to use Perl, or why do you need to use Perl. Now let us look at a very simple Perl script. As we can see from this script, you have the first line starting with a hashtag, and then in that line we have exclamation mark /USR means user /bin /Perl. And then in the second line we also have a hashtag. There's a difference. As we continue, we'll see the difference between the first line and the second line. But the second line, it's a comment which says this script prints a friendly greeting to the screen, a hello world program. In Perl, scripts are first compiled and then executed in the order in which the lines of code appear. You can write a script, a Perl script, with any text editor. The only rule in this is that it must be saved in a plain text. Now let us look at a basic syntax of Perl script. As we can see from this script, the first line that I talked about earlier, we can see at the end we have -w. This option tells Perl to produce extra warning messages about potential dangers. You are advised to always use this option while writing Perl script. White space doesn't matter in Perl, just like in C++, except for the first line, which must start from column 1 on line 1. All Perl statements end in a semicolon. In Perl, comments begin with a hash sign, just like in shell scripts. Now let us look in details at that simple script of Perl. This is the hello world program. We have the first line, And then with the second line, the comment, and then we have a print function. The print command sends the string to the screen, and the \n adds a new line to that particular output or display. In the print command, you can optionally add parentheses or brackets. Instead of using quotes, you can say print, you open brackets, you write hello world, !, and n, and you close those brackets. The second line, which starts with hash, this script prints friendly greeting to the screen. This is a Perl comment. Anything you type after the pound sign or the hash sign is not interpreted by the compiler. It understands that that is a comment. These are the notes to yourself or a future reader, a human reader. Comments start with the hash and end at a carriage return. Remember the first line, which starts with hash, !, /usr, /bin, /perl. This is not a comment, and you should remember that that is an exception in Perl script. And the last line, which says print, quotes, and then hello world, !, and then \n. This is a Perl statement or line of code, and print is a function, one in many in Perl. Hello world itself is a string of characters. Note that the \n is read as a single character, meaning that there's a new line. The semicolon tells the interpreter that this line of code is complete, meaning the end of that particular code. Now let us look, we've seen the simple script in Perl, and then let us look at Perl variables and truth. So what is a variable? A variable is a named container for a single value. This can be a text or a number. Now let us look at basic types of variables in Perl. As you can see from this example, there are scalars, there are lists, and hashes. The first variable is called cents, which value is equal to 123. It's an integer. The second one is a list, home. You've got a kitchen, you've got living room, bedroom. And then the last one, it's a hash. You should remember that all variable names are case sensitive. Now let us learn on variable name tips. How should you design or create your variable names in Perl? Firstly, use descriptive names. For example, a name called sequence is much more informative than a variable called x. X could be anything. Or you can say a variable called sequence1, that is also okay. And sequence_1 is also fine too. Secondly, avoid using names that looks like a function. Like print. Print is a function. So when you're creating a variable called print, it's probably bad. It will work, but it might confuse other learners or anyone who is reading your code. Thirdly, try to avoid single letter variable names, such as a variable called A, B. This can be used for something else. As you know, experienced programmers will often use variable I and j as counters for historical reasons. Now let us look at scalar variables in Perl. Scalar variables begin with a $, as we've seen, followed by a letter, and then possibly more letters, digits, or underscore. As you can see, for example, scalar variable n, n1, name, first name. Scalar variables are case sensitive. Now let us look at the rules for scalar variables. Scalar variables must start with a $, and it must not start with a number. And it must not contain any spaces. It may contain A through to Z in the alphabets, any number character, or the underscore sign. Let us look at examples of valid names, scalar variable names. the first variable called variable itself, a $sign, and then we write the word variable. Or the second one, this is a place for my stuff. It's a long word, it's a long string, but it's connected by underscore. And the third one, as you can see, is a combination of characters and numbers. But when you look at these examples, these are invalid. The first one is called variable 2. A variable in Perl cannot start with a number. And the second variable, as you can see, another place for my stuff, it has spaces. Spaces are not allowed. The second one, called push-pull, but it has a minus sign in it. It's not allowed as well. And also the last one called %, but it's starting with a percentage sign. It's not allowed. Now, another example of scalar variable, the first one called cents, value equals to 2. The second one is pi, value is equal to 3.14. Another one is chicken, whose value is a string called broad. Another one is name. As you can see, many more examples on how to create variables in Perl. In most cases, Perl determines the type of that particular variable, either a numeric or a string on its own, and will convert automatically depending on the context of that particular script. For example, if you're printing or doing any other operation like multiplying. This is the end of our lecture, and in this lecture we've been introduced to Perl, and then the reasons why do you have to use Perl. We've looked at Perl variables, rules of naming variables, and we've looked at scalar variables. Thank you very much.